Meet Kanpeki, a professional Valorant player who has worn jerseys for well-known teams such as Sentinels and currently TSM. When he's not competing in VCT, he's probably climbing the ranked ladder on stream. Kanpeki's not just any ranked demon though, but a consistent one, who has peaked at number 1 on the ladder and placed top 10 multiple times. When he's not grinding ranked or competing, Kanpeki shares his expertise as a Valorant coach. One evening while browsing through metafy, I stumbled upon a name I recognized from watching pro games. So I decided to take the plunge and find out what I could learn. The session was mind-blowing with so much valuable information that my brain was fried by the end of it. In this video, I'm excited to talk about my experience with Kanpeki and the valuable knowledge that he shared with me. I'm chill and let's get into it.
Do you normally play Omen? Are you normally a controller player?
Yeah, I played like Omen really early. And then I switched to Astra, but she's very complicated in like lower ranks.
Yeah.
A lot of team play there, so I recently switched back to Omen. So
Yeah, I agree with that. You can pretty much get away with Omen on every single map except for maybe Pearl. Astra's a very good agent, but I do think Astra does like flourish more in an environment where teamwork is there. So you're playing Smokes. You have an Initiator, no Sova, which is a tad bit annoying, but you have the double duelist. Sure, okay. For them, they run a Gecko, no KO, which is fine. It's not a big deal. It's interchangeable with Gecko. And then they have no Sova, and they're running double duelist. Do you understand like the concept behind one wing here, though? Other than like, so the way I guess I'll explain it real quick. Off the bat, beginning of the round, right? Obviously, map control is extremely important in general, and there's map control that you both sides can fight for off the bat, and the map control that you control off the bat, right? A smoke like this, for example, will guarantee that you maintain this A main map control, right? Which is good because it makes it so the enemies have to use util to re-clear it, essentially, right? Doing this at least shows presence, right? Yeah, and presence is important. So you should always in general, fight for the map control that you can have. Like, don't just give it up for free. At least show that you have it by showing some sort of utility or anything like that. And it's good. Also, obviously, this is just good one way in general because obviously if they fight for a main, they're one way. Right? Okay, so that's Killjoy right there you just saw. Assuming you're looking at the map, looks like you are, which is good. You know, because obviously when you're in an area where you can't be peeked, where you're kind of chilling, like looking at the map, it's really important, especially when you're rotating, right?
Yeah, I usually try to do that all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's good.
Yeah.
And so we saw Killjoy here, which is a good sign in general. Because if this was a duelist here or initiator in general, I'd be a little suspicious that okay, it's not a B rush anymore. I'm assuming in your head you think it's a B rush, like rotating like this. Yeah. Because it's a little suspicious because if a duelist is here, then that means like, hey, he's not entering B. If he's not entering B, then it's like maybe it is the fake idea that like I was talking about, for example. Right. They're just showing presence here, or maybe they're just taking main. That's all they're doing. They're just taking main and then they're giving it up. It's like the whole map control idea, right? Omen right there. Jet, market. You just killed him. He's dead. 4v4. So right now, who do we know? We know Killjoy is out tiles. He's mid now, which is good. You guys are clearing this guy actually. And then you saw Omen right here. And then you know Gecko flashed out. So that's all 3 people accounted for right now. So there's no like crazy lurker by any means. Yeah. Killjoy killed Omen. You guys are ignoring this guy. This is good. You guys should ignore this guy at this point because right now it's a 3v1 on this guy over here who's here, which is the Gecko. Yeah. And bomb is down. So you guys, this is good. You guys are ignoring this guy here in this scenario actually.
One more.
You guys gotta run him down though. Bomb was dropped here. He got the bomb, obviously. 3v2. So play this like as a 3v2 at this point, right? As much as possible. Ooh. Okay, it doubled up. Okay, it's good. You got this kill. You got the trade on this kill, which is good. Nice shots by this guy. Okay, yeah. So here's a rule of thumb. So if you're on a pistol round, if you're not gonna buy like the classic, so you are frenzy, you can only get 1 smoke, right? Yeah. Which is fine. This is actually fine. You can get the flash 1 smoke on defense is fine, but you cannot do this one way.
Yeah, so save the 1 smoke for the rush, whatever site they're at.
Yeah, precisely. Okay. And then if you're gonna do the double smoke plus flash, and I think it's classic armor, then obviously you can throw this kind of a thing. You can throw like default smokes essentially. But yeah, this B-main space is way more crucial than anything else in this scenario, especially the rushing B, obviously. Something to be wary of. A lot of teams do the Omen blind here on you and jet dash over. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, that actually happened to me in this game a few times. So I kind of got a little bit of autopilot there when it happened to me. But yeah, I recognize it from this game actually, and it's it was a good lesson to learn for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's just like a meta thing. This is good because obviously you can capitalize off the one way as soon as possible, and it's good to do this. Normally you should have a side partner with you doing this, so you should be playing with your side partner in the first place. Not to say you're not, but this guy should be coming with you. One of you guys can swing white while one of you guys play to anti-flash, like to not get blinded, just in case this play does happen.
So ideally have like Reyna with me for flash, and then I can maybe sneak into wine, like something like that.
Yeah. Someone should just play like anti-flash essentially, so they don't fall for this. It's because it's really punishable. I like you throwing this one way. It's always good in general. The default is one way. You can throw it literally every single round. It'd be okay, genuinely.
Yeah, I think that's what I did.
That's honestly fine. It's actually not a bad thing. And then you can just like sit here and jiggle this angle, make sure some guy doesn't like disrespect it. Your goal right here, especially on the eco around here, is like not to die. You know, try not to give him a gun, try not to give him anything like that. It's trying to like, it's more of a, honestly, like you try to get your teammates collectively as a team, try to get information of what they want to do and try to like, you know, hold it down from there kind of a thing. Okay, yeah, so they're fighting here. You got this guy, you get out here. Your Ren is here. The good thing is you actually kind of baited for this Reyna here. You got this kill here and you ran this direction here, right? This is actually perfect. You set up this Reyna so well. If they do swing through the smoke, they want to rush you down. They're gonna run through the smoke and look at you because the noise you made, right? They have your flash, so be wary of that. That's one thing you have to be careful of. Yeah, that's about it. So just be wary of that because the thing is, when you throw the smoke, a lot of times people are gonna flash through the smoke, right? Okay, he didn't flash. Bless. Something to keep count of so far is I like to keep track of enemies' tendencies and stuff like that. But like this is a round where they might rush you down. Something I just look at a lot is like what enemies have been doing habitually because it's ranked. People just follow their habits. They don't care. So far they've rushed. This round they rushed B, and this round they basically rushed A. Bonus rounds and eco rounds. Like this is a round where they're gonna buy like stinker half armor kind of a thing. Yeah. Basically, they don't have double initiator. It makes it harder for them to default take back patrol. So and also they've been playing a certain way. They've been pretty much rushing for the most part. And then they play their comp also makes it because like they kind of have to rush more than anything else. And so and it's ranked and everything like that. So like just be wary of the fact this is like specifically a very good round where they, you know, this is a classic play. I'm glad you know it now, but it's a very classic play people do to rush. Just flash here, dash at it.
Yep.
And this is a good round for them to do it because it's kind of like they got to go for a miracle round anyways. They're gonna do like some quick play, a cheese play.
Cover going out.
Oh,
there it is.
This is good. They didn't really capitalize off it well.
It's got flash torn.
Oh my god.
Okay, so now it's a 3v5, right? So you have man advantage down, right? You're also the anchor side here. You know the enemies, what they know is they killed a mid player and an A player. And under the assumption that you guys are on a 2-1-2, right, which is common, they probably will go to speed up A on you here. I think this is like common thing to know. I guess what I'm trying to say is something to keep in mind is what information have you given the enemy kind of a thing, and then like what do the enemies know kind of a thing, because they're gonna react based off what they know, right? What they know right now is they killed a mid player and an A player. So there's a high possibility here they could just speed up A on you here. So it's a 3v5, right? So like bring up the whole man advantage fundamental idea. It's when you're down players generally, it's you are put in like a circumstance where you kind of need to make a play to an extent. A play needs to be made in general. On attack too, the same fundamental idea exists because you need to be able to bring back your man advantage essentially. A CT side, one of the plays I guess you can mention right now, very commonly, like you guys actually just gamble stack a site S3 and pray they come hit a side. It's like a one play you can do. You can try to go for like an equalizer kill if you want and try to stall or whatever it is. As an anchor, your goal generally is not just like to get kills, but generally to like live and stall as long as possible as well, because obviously the longer you live, the more time your teammates have to rotate over, right? The more time your teammates have to rotate over, the more your teammates can actually help throw util for you, help trade you, help get kills, so on and so forth, right? But at the same time, it's funny because at the same time you want to also not give up back patrol, right? And but that also means if they contest back patrol, you might get into fights. Try to find like a good way to balance both of them at the same time.
Yeah, balance that. Yeah.
Always keep count of ults if you want. A lot of it is how can you get a pick, right? An idea behind it is like, what do you think the enemy's going to do? And what enemy does, the only way you can kind of guesstimate it is off of their habits, like what have they done already, what has worked for them, kind of everything, what hasn't worked for them. And then it's a guesswork, but a lot of it also is the ultimates. Off the ultimates, how do you think they're going to hit, kind of thing. A good team would be like, oh, we're one off Killjoy, very crucial, or Yoru is really good too. They could come main just to grab this ulti, and then from there they might do a play from there. This is good knowledge to have in general. As an anchor, a lot of times you need to recognize whether or not it's a scenario your teammates can flood in, you can't flood in, kind of a thing. In this scenario, it's good. Actually, you played to play retake, and your teammates weren't like ready to flood in quick anyway, so that's fine. It's good that you got off site and played like this. I'd recommend you play for site, but you play to stall as long as possible and stay alive site. And this smoke, I don't know if you ever experienced the smoke mid side right here. This mid side smoke is extremely good.
I've seen that a few times. I haven't used it personally, but I definitely have seen that smoke in like high rank games I've watched. Yeah.
It's really good. You can throw those mid-side smoke here, and you can play hell if you want. You can angle, like isolate really well. You can just be a rat inside the smoke if you want. But the whole point is the smoke also lets your teammates rotate from heaven, and they're not even open for A main because the smoke sticks out a lot to the point where they actually are not open A main. They can actually flood out and hold your left for you. They could even jump down with the smoke still up and like help you on site kind of thing. It's so high, A main actually doesn't see these guys coming out of heaven.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Cool. That's fine. You're throwing an open blind here, which is fine. This is actually normal. But obviously you're solo here. It's like a pack versus non-pack, so I call it. Your team heavy coming out of heaven is like the pack, and you're the knockback. You're solo here, right? So your goal when you're solo a lot of times is like you staying alive is like an extra nuisance they have to worry about. Staying alive here, if you're by yourself especially, is really important in general for that reason, because the second you die, all they have to do is look at the door, right? And they can be like 2 guys just post up a door, your team is just never gonna win, right? But you being alive makes 2 areas they look at now, for example, right? This will happen a lot whenever you're solo and you're not with the group.
Oh, you're submerged. You don't have.
Yeah, but I'm blind for this retake. You also have Killjoy ulti. They have Killjoy ulti as well. I mean, win condition here, right? Important word, win condition, I guess. The scenario changes consistently, I guess what I'm trying to say. As the scenario changes, right now, your win condition right now is like Killjoy ulti, right? A lot of times you just gotta like realize your win condition is probably just Killjoy ulti this scenario, so just play for Killjoy ulti, play hold door. You probably win.
If we lose, we lose.
Shadows traveling.
Flash. Okay, I like this. Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah, it's a little late, I think.
I like this a little bit better because the time where you Omen blinded, you Omen TP here, you were here. But I also, for that same reason, you should try faking it once. The reason I say that is because last time you Omen TP here, he saw you Omen TP here, right? So if you Omen TP again, he's gonna assume you're there again. If anything, you kind of condition the fact that you're definitely there.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you haven't been caught fake TPing once, they're gonna assume it's the real deal every time. The way I see this is, Omen blind A is really strong, to be fair with you. So I'd recommend getting Omen blind, but also it's like you're also doing a rush, and util is like really important in this rush, and you guys are also lacking utility because you don't have a Sova. So I'm not gonna lie, I think your flash is like super crucial in this instance. Really, I'd say you really should get the classic instead and get the Omen blind for attack. Killjoy's here. You see him stairs.
No.
He's like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know Killjoy's here, like I said, because of turrets. Yeah, you literally physically shot the turret yourself. For that reason, Killjoy's definitely here. You see on the minimap too. I just hear shooting right here. I have this habit where if I hear shooting that I know is like not my teammates, or if I hear shooting in general, I kind of glance at my minimap real quick. I understand it's an intense moment, don't get me wrong, and it's definitely important. Like whenever I see kill feed, something pop up kill feed, whenever I hear lots of like shooting, that's a really hard thing to do. And there's a lot of pros, in my opinion, who wouldn't even like be able to do it in these moments too, because it's like a really intense moment. Or a cat. Yeah, smoke tree is good here. If I want to pull Omen blind here, yep, there we go. Blind this angle, yeah, that's good. Killjoy. The reason why I don't mind this Killjoy, but you gotta run in and ignore the Killjoy, which is what you do actually. But you should be throwing your flash. The idea you had earlier was perfect.
I think I just didn't want to flash him, but
teammate.
Yeah.
I get that. Right now, I want to throw it like right here. This situation is not a realistic situation. People won't route to this corner. People aren't gonna do this. They're gonna run door like this, right? You routing like this is perfect. Like this to get the angle proper is correct. And right here, you would not have to worry about a guy running fucking over here, right? So you could throw this flash normally. So this is good. Like you're happy here is good. What you're planning on doing is good.
Yes.
Cover going out.
Get out of my way.
That's definitely mid.
Problem here is, like I said, you guys can't really default well. You don't have a Sova, you know what I mean? Like commonly you have some sort of utility to clear this out. The only way of clearing this out is probably either throw a jet smoke here and be able to cross out, or throw like a KO flash or something, or you could try knifing this area too, and then KO flashing for the cross or whatever it is, right? That's
it's hard when you don't have the hard recon, like the Sova dart. Yeah,
that's actually like he does throw the flash actually. That's actually cool that he actually had like the idea of like throwing this flash in order to scale out instead. Also, general rule of thumb, you should try to avoid dry fights as much as possible, right? You want to give yourself an advantageous fight as much as possible, right? And what that entails is basically throwing utility is a good one. Other than that, if you don't have a utility, at least try to double peek it with your teammate. If you're not going to throw util for it, at least do it with the teammate kind of a thing. If you are playing man disadvantage, you actually want to take fights. You want to get fights. You want to get the 1v1s. You want to take the fights, you need to get the man advantage back, stuff like that. You want to go for the picks as much as possible to even out the odds, essentially.
Right.
3, 2, 1, go.
I like your playing information here. To be honest with you though, this isn't your job because like I said before, remember the whole entire you guys don't have much site hit util. I think your flash is crucial for the site hits. It's kind of a scenario where I think you're kind of forced to do this. Though to be honest with you, I wouldn't even throw those mid smoke because if you're solo by yourself here, I almost think since you guys have 5-man rush A main every single round, you've conditioned the fact that you guys have 5-man rush, including you with it, stuff like that. And so I'd almost recommend, honestly, you just gamble the fact of the idea of presence. But the idea of presence is basically you guys are making a ton of noise A main, so they're all going to shift to A main. Also, plus the idea of conditioning, the fact you guys have rushed 5-man, never a cat lurk, never lurked once. You guys haven't lurked once. And so there's actually a really good instance where you really could lurk because the fact, like I said, you conditioned A main with 5-man rush A main. And so you could lurk, but I recommend if you are going to lurk, I guess I'm trying to say, don't throw the smoke. The smoke kind of just like fucks you up. It makes it look like it's an A split. That's what it does.
Right.
Just be wary when you do this. Be careful with the B main push because sometimes people push to B. Either snipe out push to B because it's 5-man A rush. Yeah, just be wary for that.
Going out.
Hey.
How many
maybe get in a habit of going to smoke mode instead of pulling your knife. It's really intense and it's really tight timing, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get away with it. And so I think for that reason, as a just something to learn, I guess, is instantly reactively pull your smoke like you see somebody and throw your smoke down. Like instantly. It should be your response while running away. But I also do kind of want to see you try play for sight a little bit more. Lots of options. You can Omen TP all around A site, which is kind of nice.
Cool.
Overall, I guess you have pretty solid aim. Your cross is actually pretty solid in general, by the way. I so you get lots of really good kills that just like good cross replacement. Yeah, overall, I think you could utilize your flash better from the old times I mentioned. Your flash gets so much value for side execs in general. So try to implement that better. And also another thing for your flash, try to capitalize off your flash when you can. As long as you understand the conditioning ideas, it's just good. Like the Omen TP wine, for example, you gotta like fake it every once in a while and fake it in a way where like maybe they know you actually faked it. Because obviously if they don't know you faked it, then they're just gonna assume it's real every time. Also, there's the idea of like presence. Conditioning is part of it too. If your teammates make a bunch of noise at like the opposite side of the map, then you can probably walk up your opposite side of the map. Because people will rotate towards the noise, right? Because that's just what you're supposed to do. That's how you abuse rotates. Under the assumption that people are 2-1-2 set up, you just like think of the fact, hey, our team is making a bunch of noise B, and let's just say you're A, they're going to shift over towards B, right? And then maybe that's your timing for you to potentially lurk out. And so that also requires you to like keep track of like what kind of noise your teammates are making in general around the map, right? And that's like important to look for.
And that's going to be it for this one. Just wanted to quickly thank Kanpeki for letting me share a portion of the session. If you want to catch Kanpeki live, he streams at twitch.tv/Kanpeki and follow him at Twitter at Kanpeki_XD. I'll also leave a link to his metafy page if you're interested in coaching yourself. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more coaching videos like this one. Check out this video next if you're looking for more and subscribe to never miss a video. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.